In this video, we're talking about tactics that can help you win in court, especially if you're dealing with a narcissist. Now, again, I am not a lawyer. Just like I tell all the men in the Broken to Badass program, I am not a lawyer. I cannot tell you specific legal advice. But what I can do is show you what's worked for other guys in our program. We've had 4,000 guys come through there. Probably 80 to 90% of them are dealing with this bullshit. So I'm going to show you what works for the guys in the Broken to Badass program. If you want to know more about that, click the link in the description below. This will get you into your power for dealing with manipulation, lies, betrayal, and get you into that power within the week and get you out of this whole situation. So let's get started. My name is Ed Baxter, and I help guys in betrayal situations. I've coached thousands of men. Tens of thousands of men have come through my doors in one form or another. I've had over 3,000 guys come through the Betray to Badass program. And that's what we do. We'll get you to that place where you make the right decision for you and your children. All right, the first thing you need to do is document everything. Literally everything. You should have a journal and you should write in all the entries that are happening. In other words, was she late when she picked up the kids? If she was on time, did she pick up the kids? She starts an argument with you. What was the argument about? You should be logging everything in a journal, and don't put just all bad stuff. Put the good stuff in there too. What we want to show is that you're not just cataloging all the bad stuff. You're trying to catalog consistent things that happen on a daily basis. She dropped the kids off at school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. She picked them up Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now she stopped and tried to have a fight with you. So like you're going to put in the schedule and you're going to put this in there as well. And stop talking to her in person. If you're dealing with somebody who is highly manipulative, she's been accusing you of things, she's called the cops on you, she said you're abusive, and you're not an abusive guy, make sure you document everything. Don't talk to her in person, because when you talk to her in person, it's always a he said, she said situation. And the thing is the courts and the cops are always going to take her side because they want to have safety. On the off chance that you are an abusive asshole, they want to make sure that you're removed from the situation. You yourself know that you're not, and you're being falsely accused. And so in this situation, you have to assume that they're going to assume that you're guilty until proven innocent. And unfortunately, that's the game you're playing when you're dealing with these kind of custody battles. So you want to document everything. Keep everything to text messages, keep everything to emails. And if you have a Ring doorbell and you have to have a conversation with her, do it outside your front door. That way it's out in public, it'll probably keep her calmer, and because other people can see it, the other neighbors. And so if you're dealing with somebody who has a lot of anger issues and they're violent and they're abusive towards you, you want to make sure you're not in a situation where their actions can be hidden. So stay out in the open. One is document everything. Two is stay calm. Do not provoke her. She might try to provoke you. She may try to get you as riled up as possible, because this is going to give the narrative that you are an abusive monster, that you're horrible, and that she can take your custody rights away. And the worst thing that can happen to you is then she says all these false accusations in court, and then she comes on the backside, gets a restraining order, and now you can't even see your kids until you go prove your innocence in court, that you're not an actual threat. And I can't stress this enough. If your wife is threatening to call the police and stuff, you need to stay calm. She will bait you into fights. So you're still playing this game of, hey, how do we have a good understanding of the situation? And she doesn't want to have a good understanding of the situation. She wants power and control, and she wants to win, and she wants to extract as much resources as she can from you. This is typically what happens in situations where we're dealing with a lot of narcissistic tendencies. When we deal with a lot of this person's not looking at you as a partner, they're looking at you as a resource, a workhorse, a draft horse that they can extract as much from as they can, and they don't care about you, and they will use your children against you. And so you have to stay calm. This is going to be one of the most difficult and trying times of your life, and you need to stay calm. In the Broken to Badass program, we have 4 things that we do, which is the calm, the release, the block, and the stack. These are 4 things that we do to really help guys stay calm. If you want to know more about it, click in the link in the description below. Because if you can stay calm and measured, then all your interactions with her, since they're documented, is going to show that you're calm and measured. And we don't want to provoke a fight. We want to try to prevent any kind of escalation, because again, she's going to try to get you ticked off, to get you pissed off. So then she can come back and say, see how verbally abusive he is? See how horrible he is? You don't want to give her any more ammunition. 3, set firm boundaries. And when I say set firm boundaries, say, this is what I want, and this is what needs to happen. We're not going to have a discussion about it. This is where we're at. And so he says, hey, I need to move the kids' time to here. And you know she's just messing with you. Say, sorry, I already have plans. And don't get into it. Well, what are you doing? What are your plans? I mean, you can't be that busy, right? And so she'll go in and start doing the interrogation thing, which is what a manipulator typically does when you try to set a boundary. Well, why do you even need that boundary? And if they can reframe it as the boundary's not that important at all, what are you doing? You're being a fool, you're being emotional, you're being reactive, you're just being petty. Of course you're going to do this. That's the kind of behavior I'd expect from you. So these are all the type of things that she's going to say about this. And so you say, no, I need to stick to this. Or you say, hey, I want to keep communication just over email. And then when she calls you 14,000 times, you don't answer the phone. So you have to hold the boundaries, and you have to be very clear what they are. And they're not up for debate. They're not up for discussion. You just say, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to operate. And you do it in a calm way. And then you have to follow through with it. Now, she's going to do everything she can to whittle that down, to break that boundary, because she knows that if she can break that boundary, she can maintain control over you. If she can maintain emotional control over you, then she can get whatever she wants in court. Again, to her, these are just negotiation tactics. To you, you're like, man, this person's really trying to hurt me. They're trying to, like, and it's because you're personalizing it. For her, she's not personalizing it. And she's going to get angry, obviously. She has low emotional self-control. And so this is why she'll do this. She'll accuse you of everything she's doing. Just keep that in mind. This pisses me off more than anything, is sometimes guys will get a lawyer who'll come up and say, well, you know, it's just kind of a settled thing. She's going to get what she's going to get. Like the court, like the law is very clear. You're going to get she's going to do child support because there's a calculation, and she's going to get alimony because there's other calculation. Trust me, she don't give a shit about that. What she's going to do is paint you out as the most terrible monster as possible, so that she can extract more from you from the court and play the pity game, the victim game, and try to convince the judge that you're a horrible, manipulative, and terrible monster. And she'll tell all your friends this too. She'll tell everybody. She'll tell your coworkers. She'll tell your clients. Because what she has to set the narrative that you're terrible, and she has to get everybody to believe it. If she can get everybody to believe it, then whatever she does to you is minuscule in comparison. In other words, if she can make you out to be this terrible person, then she's justified in whatever action she has. If she has a new boyfriend, if she goes and spends a lot of money, it's for self-care. If she, whatever it happens to be, she can justify it by saying that you're terrible in comparison to her. And so you need a lawyer who's willing to fight. Because in these games, the best thing you can do is like what happens when you have a bully, right? Typically, you have to stop the bully by demonstrating that you're more powerful than they are. And in this case, you have to have a lawyer that can deal with somebody like this. And so it really behooves you to find a lawyer that deals with men's rights, a lawyer who's not afraid to go to the fucking mat legally with her. And oftentimes, you being able to have a stronger legal presence is the first thing that'll get her to calm down. Because again, she's playing a power and control game. She's not playing a love and understanding game. She has no interest in having a good co-parenting relationship with you. She wants what she wants, and she wants you kind of erased out of the picture. And she pretty much will, when you're in a contentious divorce like this, the woman oftentimes, if she's highly manipulative, isn't really looking at the kids as somebody that they want. What she's doing is she's looking at the kids as a tool to extract more out of you. And you'll see this happen because the kid, when it's her time to have the children, she won't spend a lot of time with them. She'll push them off to the parents or her sister, or she'll put them in daycare. And you're like, I could watch them. Like, why are you denying? And they're like, well, that's not your time, so you don't get to ask about it. It's like, well, you're not spending time with them. Let them be with me. And she's like, well, I want to minimize you having time with them because I'm trying to paint you out as this horrible person. And also, she wants that child support. Most guys, I've yet to find a guy who's come through my program. We've had 4,000 guys come through the program. And every one of them, that when it goes to a divorce situation or in a situation like this, they all want 50-50. Very rarely are we looking for a full custody situation. When it's a full custody situation, the guy is trying to ask for it because he sees how monstrous she is. Most guys just want 50-50. And in these cases, she's like, nope, I want full custody and you have to pay me everything. Well, at least the guys in my program, they're all very good guys. They all come from the heart. They mean well. They're nice people. And they get taken advantage of by very manipulative people. And so we need a lawyer to get in the middle of this and show the guy that he doesn't have to roll over, that he can actually fight for what he wants, and he can actually do the best thing for his children and his financial future and the legacy he wants to leave for his children. And oftentimes these women trying to extract as much as they can from the husband, and they're not even looking at like, what does this mean for the children? Oftentimes this money goes to her, and then she blows it all on vacations and boyfriends and clothes and cars, and then it's like, the entire legacy that the man tried to build for his children is now gone because she's just caring about what can I get from this guy so I can live an easy life. And so you need a lawyer that can really be like a bulldog in court and to show her that like you cannot be making all these false accusations to court, because she will. She'll make any accusation she needs because she knows she doesn't have to prove it. She just has to say this stuff, and then you have to prove your innocence. And unfortunately, the court system is set up this way in the U.S. It's not the same everywhere. But oftentimes, I get into a bunch of different states that we hear about. It's like, holy shit, man, like, how are you even supposed to fight against this? So you need somebody who can really work this out. And if your lawyer, again, if your lawyer is just saying, well, it is what it is, fire him. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know legal advice, but I know that the lawyers that do that, their clients get hosed. He's just like, okay, thanks for the retaining fee, and I'm going to try to get this out of here as fast as possible. And well, I don't really want to deal with the conflict. And so he's just good to have, he's just happy to have the business. He just doesn't want to do his job. So if you can't get a hold of your lawyer, he's having a hard time talking to him, then you probably have the wrong guy. And it is what it is at that point. You want to move forward. But these tips will save you thousands in court costs. If you're dealing with somebody who's manipulative and they're trying to just make your life miserable, just realize that everything that they say is going to be some sort of a lie, and that there's always a catch to anything that they want or anything that they want to give you. There's always a catch. Because again, you're not playing a game of love and understanding. You're playing a game of power and control. And so she'll take anything that's available to her for this negotiation. All of these is just leverage points for her to get you to comply. Then you're used to being gaslit, you're used to being cheated on, you're used to being called abusive, you're used to being called a piece of shit. And she knows this about you, and she knows all your leverage points, and she knows how to make you feel guilty and shameful for just standing up for yourself. And so she'll use all of this to get whatever she wants, and she'll try to make you feel like a terrible person just for just wanting 50-50 and for what's fair. And you're like, I just want what's fair. Why does this have to be a problem? And the thing is that she wants it to be a problem because she has to paint you as a terrible person. And what she's doing, she's taking all this anger and hatred in her life, and she's just dumping it on you. You're like her best therapist. She just gets to vent on you and put you down and beat you up. And then you in this position where like, I feel like I have to take it. And this is why it's so critical to have a good lawyer. Do what you can to protect your finances. So it's not always the case, but it happens more often than not that as soon as you find out that she's cheating on you, she will empty out the bank account, put it somewhere else, call the cops on you, put you in jail for the night, get a restraining order on you. Now you can't come to your house. You got no cash, and you're like sleeping in your car. And then you'll get a call. I got to go talk to Ed, and I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter about the program right now. It doesn't matter. Right now, you need to get yourself, and so we'll tell them what to do in the call. Like, you got to get yourself in a financial stable situation. Right now, even if you join the program, your head's going to be just thinking about where's your next meal and how do I see my kids. And this program's not suited for that. In fact, that's going to take somebody in your ear every day helping you out. So we have to prevent that from even happening. If you're going to confront her, you're going to confront her about cheating, you're going to do all this stuff, and you know that she's like super manipulative and everything, get your lawyer first and make sure you have money to move around. Now, this kind of stuff will shake out in court later on, but in the immediate future, you need the cash. You know, cash is king. You need to be able to have credit available, cash available, and you want to protect your finances. So do whatever your lawyer tells you to do or in regards to this. It's different for every state. I can tell you what to do, but again, I'm not a lawyer, and I don't want you to take this as law advice. But I'm just showing you what has been helpful for guys in the program and what could be helpful for you in your future. So make sure you protect yourself financially. Leave your shit off social media. Don't put all this stuff on social media. And in fact, stop looking at hers. Now, she could put a lot of incriminating stuff in the social media. Have a friend curate it for you. Have a friend take screenshots of this kind of stuff to feed to your lawyer. You don't need to be doing it. You need to stay off social media. Don't be putting posts about, oh, my greatest love is lost forever. No, don't be doing all this victimhood pity party stuff. She's going to be watching you, and she's going to be seeing what's happening. She's going to put all these posts up about and you know it's about you. Where it's like, I've always done the best to be like the best mom and wife. And sometimes you can do everything you want and still failed. Like she'll put stuff up there like that, and you're like, that's obviously about me. And then you're going to get upset. You're going to want to confront her. You want to talk to her about it, and it's just not going to help you. And so you want to stay off social media as much as possible. In fact, it's not that good. You need to be going towards your own growth and your own greatness and stuff. And this is what we tell guys to do in the Broken to Badass program, is start focusing on yourself. We'll help you manage how to talk to her and de-escalate things and turn things around, actually maybe have a productive conversation with her. But at the same time, you getting in there, checking on her, looking at phone locations, that might be helpful for a lawyer in a divorce case, but it's not going to be helpful for your own mental sanity. And so you want to get off of all of these things as much as possible. You got to remove as much negativity as you can out of your life. And not only are you going to prioritize yourself, but you're going to prioritize your kids' well-being. So they're going to need you now more than ever. In fact, they need to see you on a consistent basis. So if she's talking badly about you, if she's trying to alienate your children, you being a calm presence and being able to have these interactions with them and being able to see them on a daily basis, preferably, or at least on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, and they can see that you're calm and you're stable, is going to be super helpful for them. And what's going to happen is is the kids are going to want to hang out with you more. Why? Because there's a lot of crazy going on over there. There's a lot of anger going on over there. Probably a lot of drinking and boyfriends. And they're going to want to be with you because this is where the stability is. And they love their father. And so the mom's going to be talking badly about you. And the kids, they take that personally. Like, well, I love dad and you don't like dad, so I feel like you don't like me. And so this is what the kids will internalize. And so you have to see them on a continuous basis so that all her lies don't start to stick with the kids and they'll see it. And then be expecting that she will say that you're turning the kids against her. I know, ironic, right? She's going to accuse you of doing everything she's doing. Now, she's going to say this because the kids will want to be with you. And of course, you're not saying anything bad about their mother, and you shouldn't. They'll internalize this, and they don't want to be in the middle of this, and you shouldn't put them in the middle of this. And in this place, they need you to be stable. And so prioritize yourself when they're not with you. And when they're with you, spend as much time to prioritize them and give them that stable environment as much as possible. At this point, they're already going to be, like, the whole situation is fucked up, and so what we have to do is try to minimize the fuckery as much as possible. And if you're dealing with somebody who's very manipulative, somebody with a lot of narcissistic tendencies, you're in it for the long haul. This is going to be a fight and a divorce that will take years. Just expect that this is going to happen and they're not going to stop until they feel like you're more powerful than them or they've taken you down all the way. And they're still, even after the divorce is finalized, they're going to keep messing with you just to see what they can get from you. See if they still have control over you. Just because they like the kick, they like that feeling of power, and you have to be able to want to just completely stop that kind of control emotionally over you and that kind of manipulation in your life. This is going to take a while. And any one of these things that this woman can do can cost you tens, if not hundreds of thousands in court, just having to deal with like false accusations and stuff. And so having somebody on your side to help you like manage this stuff, manage the conflict, de-escalate things is going to save you a shit ton. We help you with this quite heavily in the Broken to Badass program. And so you'll find more stuff on like how to do this on this channel as well. This is going to be the hardest thing that you've ever done in your life. But the cool thing is you're going to get stronger. You're going to get better. You're going to become an absolute fucking powerhouse if you can nail this. Your children will thank you. You will be the hero here. Your children have a possible path of going down to this manipulative cycle and just being alienated, and or they could be like you. They could be awesome. They could be heartfelt. They could have great relationships, and it's up to you to ensure that they don't go down this path and they go down your path. And so you have to really tap into your indomitable spirit, your spirit of inner warrior. And for you, if you're a really nice guy, you don't really like having conflict in your life, you're going to have to dig deep, and you're going to need support, and you need somebody like me in your corner. And you need a good fucking lawyer. So if you want some information on how to deal with narcissistic behavior, check out this video right here. It's a fucking doozy. And brother, if you're going through this right now, I feel you. I love you. I'm sorry you have to deal with this, and I'll see you in the next video.